Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people. This is the Vapid Peyote Custom, and we're about to take it racing in Willett Offroad at the races. This is the version of Willett Offroad where we run up and down and then back up and then back down the mountain. So we do we do an ascent, a controlled descent, then we have to go back to the top, and then we do a damage descent. And of course, you gotta go back to the top because otherwise you can't come back down. That whole what goes up must come down thing. So yeah, gonna have a nice little car crash here in just a second. Yep, that was. I kind of ran off, did a little bit of unsafe track re-entry, so I kind of had it coming on that one. But speaking of what goes up must come down, terrible segue in not a good car. Beautiful car, but not a good car. But this is the final Willett Offroad for a while. As you know, or as you may not know, who knows? That was a really weird combination of the word no. But anyway, Willett Offroad is not a regular feature anymore, like it used to be every Monday for year after year after year. The viewership just wasn't there anymore. It seems to do better as the standalone series for each new DLC. So this is the final race. We tested all the vehicles that came in the last DLC, plus one from the DLC before that. Last week we raced a couple of the fastest and slowest, and today we're racing the other two that were in the fastest and slowest. Starting with the Peyote. And then Willett Offroad will go on a break for a little while, but not too terribly long because we should have a DLC coming out later this year. So, I mean, this year's only got, what, a month and a half left? No, 2.5 months left. I can count. And they usually try to get those DLCs. They usually come before Christmas. Usually like the week or so before Christmas. So we're probably about 2 months out from a DLC right now. So it won't be too terribly long. 6 to 8 weeks, maybe 10, before Willett Offroad is right back on the channel. And depending on how many vehicles are included in the DLC and whether or not there's drip feed, will determine how long Willett Offroad goes for its next season. And so this has been the Los Santos Super Duper Special Nido DLC. I don't even know. I can't keep up what it's called. Los Santos Summer Special DLC, right? Los Santos Special, because by special they mean here's some stuff that we cut out of the DLC we were going to launch. And we're giving you the leftovers. But the leftovers were pretty good. I like the Peyote Custom. I drive it from time to time. I've always owned a Peyote since way back on my Xbox 360 days. So I was really happy to see it get the Benny's treatment, get to turn into a lowrider. But it's still not a very good car. You know, Benny's cars do usually get a bit of performance improvement, though that's not true on like that one weird bunch where with all those supers. But the lowriders typically become better cars. But there's not, you'd have to do a lot of improvement on the Peyote. So, you know, like the gasser level of stuff to make it truly better. It just doesn't have very good grip. And it has really bad brakes. And whether in lowrider form or stock, it has really poor ground clearance. And so you just struggle quite a bit. I think Commander has a better line right there. I think coming to the right and then going around to the left is quicker. I really do. I'm going to make him pay for choosing a better route by hitting him. Not leaving him any room, so force him into an error so I can get an overtake done. That's right, forced error. By the way, hey, you see the stuff bounce around in the bottom left corner of the video? Please follow me on Twitter so you can get announcements of my live streams and videos, as well as other random things that I post. And coming out with us on the Vainglorious Discord server. Make sure you check out my Twitch page where I stream every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And if you want some Vainglorious Gaming or Astroneer Academy merch, you can pick it up on my merch store. And of course, you can support the channel through Patreon by making a monthly pledge. For as little as $1, you can also support the channel by becoming a Twitch subscriber or a YouTube member. All three of those include perks on our Discord server, including early access to some videos, as well as special supporter-only videos, such as the behind-the-scenes version of Willett Offroad that gets posted every time there is a Willett Offroad video. No. This is bad. And now it's worse. Yeah, I have to respawn. But I can because I happen to own the right car. Only two of us own the car. Myself and Sven. Mine fully upgraded. Everything fully upgraded. That's the only way I take a car up and down the mountain is fully upgraded. Unless, of course, it's a type of vehicle that you just cannot upgrade. And obviously, nothing I can do about it. Sven, however, when we were in the lobby before we were going to this race, I don't know why, but he got the idea that downgrading his brakes to stock would be fun or funny. One of the two. Maybe both. So everybody that's racing in his copy of the car has stock brakes. Ooh, God. But you know what? It may have paid off for him because he has a pretty good lead right now. Even over Commander Hobo, who's up there in second. You can see Sven's down there at pretty much the start-finish line, turning around to come back while I'm back here hitting the tree. Hobo's just up around the corner in front of me a little bit and about to go down to the asphalt. So maybe having the worst brakes was better? I'm sure it was scarier, but he might be onto something here. Oh, God. My front end just barely clipped the off-road section while the rest of the car was on the asphalt, and so I spun around. There we go. There's how you should do your passing in this area. Always stay to the right. Speaking of going to the right, I've got to stop turning to the right here. I need to go make the loop-to-loop to the left because it's wide open. Why do I always go to the right? I don't really know. So somehow, Donkey managed to once again blow up his car. I don't know how he does it. At this point, I think he's just sticky bombing himself. I may as well throw a sticky bomb on myself. I do terrible in this race. I just wasn't doing very well at all. Part of the reason is I slept in the day that we recorded this, and I don't think I was quite fully awake when we got in here. Maybe, but that's, of course, race car driver excuses. But I do make up for it with a couple of nice bits of driving here and there, especially in the next vehicle. But that wasn't one of them. Just right into a tree, and then I couldn't get grip to get up the hill. Then I let it go too far backwards, and now my front and rear bumpers have my rear wheels up off the ground. So once again, the second respawn, and so I can just hang it up on this race. There's Donkey for when he respawned. He's just gonna hoof it up and down the mountain, I guess. Though if I recall correctly, he just kind of hangs out at the finish line and waits for people to finish. Yeah, I'm just erroring all over the place here. This is just... If you're new to Will It Off-Road, please don't take my performance in this race as an indicator of my ability to get vehicles up and down this mountain, because I'm usually very good at it. But I don't know, I just couldn't get it together for this race. Sometimes you just, even if I hadn't, slept in and if I wasn't sleepy when we had recorded this, sometimes you just have a bad race where you just make a lot of mistakes. No matter how many times you've done it. Like, I've gone up and down this mountain, not in a race situation, but for testing, I've gone up and down this mountain. What have we tested now? 300 cars? So at least 300 times, probably coming closer to 400. Because I used to, way back in the day, I used to practice a lot, just to find areas where I could make the testing go more smoothly. But there's something about a race situation that, obviously you want to win, so you're pushing a little bit harder than you normally would during testing. In testing, I've got the mentality of, let's just get the best time that I can while also maintaining control. And that's what I have become, oh, there goes somebody telling me on. That's what I have become accustomed to. So then to switch over to a racing situation, I don't know. Sometimes it's hard for me to change mindsets. And it also requires a completely different driving style that I'm just not used to. And I need to drink water because my voice is going. I just finished up a live stream right before recording this voiceover. One of these days, I'll learn not to do that. Talk for 4 hours and then talk for another half hour more. Yeah, not the best of ideas. But there we go as I put the lid back on my clean canteen. No, they're not a sponsor. I just love these water bottles. Made a really thick gauge stainless steel so your water stays nice and cold without any refrigeration. And hot drinks stay hot too if you prefer to put a hot drink in it. It's just stainless steel with a nice poly vinyl style cap. So, Commander Hobo and Spin are pretty much down the mountain already as I begin my damage descent. Got an okay start off of there, but the Peyote doesn't have a whole lot of power to really get me some speed. What I really want is some speed there, but I started to spin. Sometimes you can get more there, but I kind of just bounced off the side of the hill instead of being able to get anything pulling me forward. So we're doing a proper... Wow, we just finished. We're doing a proper damage descent. I'm not going to be able to skip a lot of this. If you get that jump off to the right of the ramp just right, you can skip all of this and land about here. And you could do it in about the quarter of the time that it's taking me right now. So you can actually be in second or third place and wind up winning the race if you can execute that maneuver properly. It's tricky to get it. It's tricky to hit all the bits of ground and keep the car composed. But man, when you do, I've done it in a couple races. When you do get it hooked up, it's so very satisfying. Yeah, there's Donkey down at the finish line. I think he winds up shooting a flare at me. I was determined to try to jump the wood pile, but then I remembered what car I was in, and you'll see how that goes. Which is to say, not well at all. But that doesn't prevent me from trying and failing, completely failing. Of course, now I can't get up the hill, so now I gotta back up. Thankfully, fourth place is God knows where, miles behind me. So I've got the time to spare, but yeah, the back end just spins out. This car just doesn't have any grip. That's just what it comes down to. But we finally finished, and that's going to start the DNF timer since I was in third place, and there's only 6 of us racing. That gives us a DNF timer, which may or may not load. Those loading times, man. Whew. Yep, J-Bose is in a bad situation. Respawned, and there he goes. And there was why he was in a bad situation. He just full sends it. He's definitely got a lot to learn about Willett Off-Road still. But he's getting there. Maybe not bailing out of your car is a good idea, though. But anyways, guys, we'll check out these times here. See just how much Sven spanked all our rear ends. Yeah, I'll call you, you creepy-looking bastard. And... yeah, a minute and a half more than me, 44 better than Hobo. Wow. But that brings us to our next vehicle after the awesome transition. The Maibatsu Penumbra FF. And God, I love the paint job I have on this car. It's so good. We go on 1 minute. So here we go. Totally different experience. First of all, I didn't think it was possible for it to rain in stunt races. I know you can't change the weather, I don't think, but I thought it just straight up could not rain in stunt races. So our start was a little bit wet, but as you can see, the sun's already coming out, so we'll quickly be on dry pavement. So we're just going to continue on in the race. In Willett Off-Road testing, we would have just waited for the rain to go away, but I figured maybe to make the race more fun. So we're dealing with an all-wheel drive sports car, and the all-wheel drive system on this car causes 2 unique problems. Not that one, that's just me being a bad driver, but that was an impressive turnaround right there. That was a good bit of recovery. First of all, you get your normal all-wheel drive understeer, but then you get what just happened to me right then. No, not the person rear-ended me, but it just happened again. And again. In this car, if you're on the power and you hit those small bushes that slow you down, The front end slows down and wants to stop, and there you have it again. And now Spin's trying to create a baby penumbra with me. The front of the car wants to stop because it hit the bushes. The back end, however, still has power going to the rear wheels. And, well, it's physics. If the front end stops, the back end's still driving, that front end is coming around. So you go into an oversteer moment instead of understeer, which can happen with an all-wheel drive vehicle. And it's something that was frustrating with this car because it happens a lot, like a whole lot during this race. And not just to me, but to everybody. Most everybody now was commenting on the issue. Man, I have got a Dutchman right up my trumpet there. I have got to get moving. But again, front end slowed down, back end came around. So it's just, I want to get speed, but the car's not cooperating. Because every time I get a good run, I barely clip a bush. I know it wasn't always that way, and I've finally gone back and verified it in some old World Off-Road videos. And sure enough, in some of the old World Off-Road videos, you didn't slow down when you hit those bushes. So that's something they changed. Maybe when the handling flags came about. Yeah, I definitely need to go around to the right and then go around to the to enter and come back in at the left. It seems like that's just the better route, honestly. Coming down here, who was that? I couldn't tell. They went way to the right. All you gotta do is give the faster drivers some space, but you don't have to stop and ditch your own race. Wow, Hobo. Way back there. J-Bo's clearly had to respawn, but at least this time he's in the correct car. Schvinn taking one of his trademark risky moves. Those moves, if they work, are big risk, big reward. But on the flip side, big risk, big time loss if you fail. Thankfully, he was able to get back up on the trail. Well, not thankfully, but luckily for him. He was able to get back up on the trail and get going again. I think he's going to cut some time here, too. I know that's not the only time he comes flying over us during this race. He does it a couple times, especially once we get down off the final jump. I still don't know what he's doing to get what he accomplishes. And you'll see what I'm talking about. He goes flying. I'm not sure how he does that. Yeah, there's one of his shortcuts there. Nearly landed on me. I go sideways. Get turned around just in time to get hit by Spin. Then hit a bush. The back end comes around. And because of that really clean overtake that I did on Spin coming up the mountain, he was saying thank you and waiting on me since he hit me. You know which overtake I'm talking about. At this point, Spin's in the comment typing angry Spin noises. So yeah, look at him go flying. I'm not sure what he's doing there to do that, but look at that. If that would have worked, that would have given him one heck of a lead. It didn't work, so I'm still in first. But if it would have, that would have been it for me. I would have been just stuck in second. Donkey trying to do an overtake, and then tragically forgetting that there's a corner right there. That's not the place you really want to be flooring the car for an overtake. But, you know, I guess if that's what you want to do, you do you, and, well, you do you in a ditch after that. Yeah, I need to go left here. Why do I always go right? Why do I think that's a good idea? I don't know. Coming back through here, scary, because I don't know if you realize that because it happened quick. But for a few frames there, all I could see is that there were names coming at me, but I couldn't see their cars because of the smoke. I kind of like that smoke being there. Oh, there's somebody tumbling over. Don't know what's up with that. Again, probably forgot there was a corner here. Hobo way in the back, and yeah, that horn. We talked about this in Discord. Not naming names, but somebody put the Halloween horn on this car. It's like, dude, seriously? Why on this car? There's J-Bo's just beating his head against a tree. Again, who am I to judge? If that's what you want to do in a race, is just ram a tree over and over again. Man, if that's your strat for winning, go for it. Oh, God, there's an error. But look at my amazing driving skills to recover. Speaking of my amazing driving skills, that's a possible block on Will It Off-Road Bingo. You can play Will It Off-Road Bingo by clicking on the link in the description down below. That opens up to the bingo generator. Click on generate card, and then either on your mobile device or on your computer, click or tap or click, whichever way those need to go. When something happens in the video that matches with the square, and if you get a bingo, put it in the comments down below. So I had a pretty good lead over Sven. That lead's quickly drying up due to me having issues and errors, and I think he's taking his cheaty lines. We established a long time ago in a Will It Offroad video that the Dutch have superpowers. I think what those superpowers are is the ability to cheat in races and get away with it. So he seems to get away with it. Of course, I take a bit of a cheating line here, usually, all the time. Though it did slow me down a bit because, again, yeah, you know, car, rotate, yeah. You understand by now. Man, he makes up an awful lot of ground just all of a sudden in really weird places. So that's the Dutch superpower. Excellent cheating skills. And ability to stop a dam from bursting and killing thousands by sticking your finger in it. And the ability to wear wooden shoes without complaining about how much they hurt your feet. I think that was a couple good stereotypes. Just knocked right out there. So, I'm going to try it again on my launch. Good bit of launch, but then I rotated a bit. Trying to recover it so I can get some speed, and I'm sideways. If I can get straightened out here, I might... Nope. Oh, but. Right here we go. There we go. I got some speed off of that. Not quite enough to make it to the next section. I did get a bit of a boost, but if I could have gotten a little farther up that hill, I would have done really well. I would have avoided this, where I'm now going to lose a lot of time. Because of the way I was in that little V shape, I couldn't really roll over all that easy, and I kind of had to wait for the car to slide down a little bit. And then once again, wind up on my roof, get it back on its wheels, just the time to land on a boulder, and then roll it coming off the boulder, and now Sven just took first place from me. What looked like a surefire win for me, 2 issues in the damage descent, and it's all over. At this point, the only way I can hope to recover is if Sven makes a big mistake. But, as we're going to see, instead he's a big cheater. Watch for who doesn't go through the tunnel. Yeah, did you see him over there on the right? You see him over there cheating? Cheater. But, it gets him up on the pavement. I'm going to have to put a checkpoint down here in the mud, just so he can't do that. And then he won't be used to it. It'll be funny. Check out this epic fail of finish. Managed to hit the wood pile, but instead of going to the finish line, went through the power poles instead. But hey, guys, that is going to indeed do it for this season of Will It Offroad. We'll be back in just a few weeks, as I mentioned earlier. 2 months at most. And then we will resume testing new vehicles and then racing some as well. Because I like the racing in addition to, oh, J-Lo's, bless your heart. Mouse, keyboard, and a mountain just don't seem to go too well together. Make sure you follow me on Twitter so that you get announcements of all the videos, live streams, and other random stuff. And seriously, why aren't you in the Vainglorious Discord server? If you're not, what are you doing with your life? Come hang out with us. We're chill. Sometimes we're a little rowdy, but normally we're chill. You need to be a part of it. Click the link in the description down below, or the one you saw on your screen like 20 minutes ago. Because you need to be there. You need to be there. We need you. It's not the same without you. Why he bails out of his car like that, I don't understand. I guess he knows he's going to lose anyway, so he doesn't worry about it. I don't know. But as we end, we'll take a look at the times. So, until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you that Sven is a dirty cheater, and reminding you to stay vainglorious.